sugar, take the time, 'cause the lights are shining bright. You and I've got what it takes to make it. We won't fake it. Oh, I'll never break it, 'cause I can't take it. crazy happened when I took her home last night. She invited me inside. She turned down all the lights. I found myself inside a midnight day train. Maybe if you saw it, then I know it may seem like I'm moving on. But every time I touch her, every time I taste her kiss, I just feel your lips. I can't snap out of this midnight daydream. Like I'm still with you. Midnight daydream. Damn it, girl, I miss you. She led me up the stairs into her bedroom down the hall. Put her hands under my shirt and pinned me up against the wall. She kissed me on my neck and whispered like you used to do. She was slipping off her dress and I was slipping into a midnight daydream. Maybe if you saw it, then I know it may seem like I'm moving on. But every time I touch her, every time I taste her kiss, I just feel your lips. I can't snap out of this midnight daydream. Like I'm still with you. Midnight daydream. Damn it, girl, I watched the blue eyes turn to green. It was your hands all over me. Like you never broke my heart. Like nothing ever changed. Damn, I almost called her by your name, girl. Midnight daydream. Midnight daydream. Maybe if you saw it, then I know it may seem like I'm moving on. But every time I touch her, every time I taste her kiss, I just feel your lips. I can't snap out of this midnight daydream. Like I'm still with you. Midnight daydream. Damn it, girl, I miss you. Her hands wrapped up in mine, tears rolling out of her eyes. No messing with the made-up mind. Sun setting on goodbye. Yeah, it's hard to believe it wasn't me trying to leave this town. It ain't always a cowboy that ain't got a lot to hang around. Ain't got no settle down in their boots. Gone just what they do. That restless running, searching for something. Leaving love in the dust of a midnight Chevrolet. It ain't always the cowboy that rides away. I've never seen over from this side. Never heard lonely get this quiet. Still I can't keep from smiling, 'cause damn, that girl can fly. It ain't always a cowboy that ain't got a lot to hang around. Ain't got no settle down in their boots. Gone just what they do. That restless running, searching for something. Leaving love in the dust of a midnight Chevrolet. It ain't always the cowboy. caught a hankering for a honky-tonk. Wants a nice cold beer and a country song, but he didn't want to stay out all night long. Well, I ain't the kind to let a buddy drink alone, but I can't turn it off once I turn it on. There's no stopping me once I get going. Put a can in my hand, man, I'm wide ass open. The tick-tock of that clock is like a time bomb. By 10:30, I'm half past tipsy. At 11:45, man, I done had plenty. The countdown's on when the first beer hits me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, too many. After 5 dying Millers, I was feeling loose, singing karaoke to a TL tune. When a pretty little thing shot me awake, she said, "Hey, cowboy, could you buy us a drink?" Well, hey, baby doll, I will if you want, but I can't turn it off once I turn it on. There's no stopping me once I get going. Put a can in my hand, man, I'm wide ass open. The tick-tock of that clock is like a time bomb. By 10:30, I'm half past tipsy. At 11:45, man, I done had plenty. The countdown's on when the first beer hits me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, too many. Come on! Now, I never been the kind to quit. Won't stop till I get to the bottom of this. And the night's still young. So what you say we shotgun one?
Yeah, we'll shoot one with you, Luke. Come on, Ronnie.
There's no stopping me once I get to go and put a can in my hand, man, I'm wide ass open. The tick-tock of that clock is like a time bomb. Yeah, by 10:30, I'm half past tipsy. At 11:45, man, I done had plenty. The countdown's on when the first beer hits me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, too many. Yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, too many. Come on, that's a country song right there. Come on. Well, Mama told me when I was young, said sit beside me, my only son, and listen closely to what I say. And if you do this, it'll help you some sunny day. It will. Oh, take your time. Don't live too fast. Troubles will come and they will pass. You'll find a warm arm and you'll find love. And don't forget that there is a someone up above. And be a simple kind of man. Be something you love and understand. Baby, be a simple kind of man. Oh, won't you do this for me, son? get your lust from the rich man's gold. All that you need now is in your soul. And you can do this, oh baby, if you try. All that I want from you, my son, is to be satisfied and be a simple kind of man. Be something you love and understand. Baby, be a simple kind of man. Won't you do this for me, son, if you can? Oh, don't you worry, you'll find yourself. Follow your heart and nothing else. And you can do this, oh baby, if you try. All that I want from you, my son, is to be satisfied and be a simple kind of man. Be something you love and understand. Baby, be a simple kind of man. Won't you do this for me, son, if you can? So baby, be a simple man. Oh, won't you do this for me, son, if you can? Same old dial, same old end of the work week train. Bartender knows my name, but I don't mind. She kicks 'em up strong, serves me up right. And here I go again. I'm drinking one, I'm drinking two. I got my heartache medication, a strong dedication to getting over you, turning me loose on that hardwood jukebox, lost in neon time. My heartache medication, well, it suits me fine, and I'm drinking enough Let's dance in style, let's dance for a while. Heaven can wait, we're only watching the skies. Hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. Are you gonna drop the bomb or not? Let us die young, let us live forever. Don't have the power, but we never say never. Sitting in the sandpit, life is a short trip. Music's for the sad man. Can you imagine when this race is run? Turn our golden faces into the sun. Praising our leaders, getting in tune. Music's played by the madman. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever? Forever, forever. Summer like water, summer like the heat. Some are the melodies, some are the beats. Sooner or later they'll all be gone. Why don't they stay young? It's hard to get old without a cause. I don't wanna perish like a fading horse. Youth is like diamonds in the sun. Diamonds are forever. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever? Forever, forever. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever? Forever, forever. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever? Forever, forever. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever? Forever.
The 6th of November 1999 - the 3rd of December 2020, these will be the dates that will be forever linked to the life of Ethan Philip Chugg. The dash is the important part of those dates because it represents the time that Ethan spent with you. It was a time when many great memories were created, and those memories are what will help you get through your future without Ethan. And how he'd like to be remembered. He'd like to be remembered for the good times, the laughing times, for the love that he had for his family and the times that he spent in your company. It's gathering as family and friends when faced with the painful task and unexpected task of saying goodbye that brings strength and comfort. And so on behalf of those who loved Ethan, I warmly welcome you. Your presence here today is greatly appreciated. My name is Delma Carpenter, a funeral celebrant, and together with Adrian and his colleagues from Parkside Funerals, it's our honour and privilege to have been asked to conduct this service for you. If you have not already done so already, now's a great time to turn your mobile phone onto silent. If you haven't already done so, thank you. So how do we commence talking about Ethan? If you knew him, it probably makes sense to start with a few F words. He was fun, he was friendly, he was fearless, fast, four-wheel driving, but most importantly, his family and his friends. But he was more than that. He was mischievous, he was cheeky, had a sense of adventure, lived on the edge and didn't sit still for long. Many of you will remember him as having a big heart. Ethan was kind and caring, loyal and loving, and there for anyone who needed him. As I said before, he was adventurous and fearless and certainly lived life in the fast lane. And when it came to his bike, that had more brakes than most other riders would ever have. Being an outdoor person and loving the bush, he was in his element with his mates, camping, dirt bike riding and four-wheel driving down the west coast at Sandy Cape, up the bush at Aldina, or any place out of town on the back roads that they could find. When it came to four-wheel driving, Ethan was always on the lookout for the most challenging tracks, the ones with the biggest potholes, and the rougher and the tougher, the better. He was not that good at fishing, but he loved spending time with his pop Pete, dropping a line to catch a trout up a river or a creek or down on the west coast. He also loved spending time with his nan Leanne. She thoroughly spoilt both Ethan and Hayden. It didn't matter what time it was, Nan was there as a Des driver and would pick them up sometimes 3 to 4 a.m. in the morning, take them home and cook them a feast before they went to bed. Looking after the boys, she often picked up their clothes up off the floor and washed them as well. That well-known saying, "I'm here for a good time, not a long time," is so true in Ethan's case. He may not have been here for a long time, but he certainly put a lot of living into his 21 years. So how do we say goodbye to someone like that? Sometimes life sucks, and this is one of those times. It will be hard for many of you to come to terms with the reality that Ethan has left our world. The shock, the disbelief, the wish that the nightmare would end and the things would go back to normal are all natural responses. Trying to get your head around what has happened is difficult, and you may be left with what ifs or if onlys. There can be no denying that this is such a hard day for every person here, and there's certainly no way of getting past the sadness and the pain that you feel at losing someone that you knew and then you loved. And while we do want to celebrate Ethan's life today, that does not and it should not take away the sadness that you feel. And your support of one another at this time is what will help you get through. There's never a right time for a child to die before their parents, and this is true of Ethan's mum Diane and his dad Phil and their partners Tash, Tristan and David, let alone his grandparents Peter, Leanne and Leslie and Ricky. Then there's his twin brother Hayden, who has not only lost a brother but his soulmate, his best friend. And friends, what can I say about friends and mates? As dark as anyone's world was, Ethan would help brighten it up. And just how far and wide Ethan's friends and acquaintances spanned is demonstrated by the amount of people here today. And then there are those who can't be here. He certainly will be missed. In the film The Last Emperor, when hearing of the death of Samora, the emperor asked Algren, how did he die? And Algren said, I will tell you how he lived. And that's what we want to do today, talk about how Ethan lived. So let's now take a look at his life, his action-packed 21 years that's been lovingly written by his mum, Deanne. Ethan Philip Chugg was born on November the 6th, 1999. He was the firstborn son of Philip and Deanne by only 36 minutes to which his twin brother Hayden was born. cherished by David, Tash and Bronte, who each played a significant part in Ethan's upbringing and influencing who he was today. Ethan was also a big brother to Ayla and Bly, who both looked up to him a lot. When Ethan was due home from being away, Ayla would ask, "Is brother Ethan and brother Hayden coming home today?" And this is how she referred to them, always as brother before their names. Ethan had many great friendships with so many people that had crossed his path either through school, friend of a friend, or his work that took him around a few states of Australia. There are no friendships he cherished more than the ones he had with his best mate Caden, his poppy Pete and his Uncle Kyle. The strongest bond Ethan had with anyone was with his twin brother Hayden. When they were little, they were called the Chugglets, and later in their lives, the Chuggy twins. The bond the boys had was there from the day they were born. As babies, they would often sleep holding hands or rolling on the floor, sucking on each other's hands or feet. And I did ask Hayden, did that carry on? And he said, they had to be touching or right beside each other all the time. They were so in sync with each other with their waking, sleeping, feeding and changing times, right down to pooping at the same time. And yes, the pooping routine did continue to stay in sync as they grew even into adults. As toddlers, they were very cheeky and mischievous. They spoke their own unique language between them, each understanding what the other had said. Ethan would gibber to Hayden as if he was instigating the mischief, then Hayden would gibber back, indicating he was in on the plan. Then as parents, we would watch them scheme and find their way into something. Diane recalls a time when both Ethan and Hayden were around 18 months old and they were playing in the spare bedroom with their toys. And Bob says, "Mate, I can smell poop." And Diane, knowing what it meant, not one but two dirty nappies, went to investigate. And upon opening the bedroom door, she was met with a scene no mother ever wants to find. Both Ethan and Hayden had removed their nappies and used their big round hoppy balls that kids sit on and bounce to decorate the entire room with. Both Ethan and Hayden continued to run around the house, laughing whilst covered in poop. Ethan attended Table Cape Primary for kindergarten and prep before moving to Somerset and attending the local primary school there. It was here that Ethan formed lifelong friendships with Nick, Caleb and Ethan Wallace. This group of boys, along with Hayden, were tight. You would often see the five of them walking or riding their BMX bikes between each other's place or down to the beach. It was during his high school years where Ethan's true, kind and caring side shone through. He wanted everyone to be happy and feel like they mattered to someone. He was a real larrikin and would always be the life of any party, doing many silly things just to make others laugh. Ethan had two smiles, one being a big, happy smile that would fill your heart with happiness, and the other side was a pure, cheeky smile where his eyes would open wide and shine bright. If you caught a glimpse of that smile from across the room, you knew it could only mean mischief and was about to happen, and you're probably the one in the firing line. Ethan loved his job in the mining industry, starting out as a diamond driller's offsider and working his way up through Certificate 3 in diamond drilling. He was so proud the day he was told he was getting a rig of his own to run. It was a massive sense of achievement for him. Ethan was working in the Northern Territory for quite some time, where he made some great friends. He told his mum once over the phone, whilst feeling very sorry for himself, "Those Kiwi blokes bloody know how to drink." During the early stages of COVID-19, Ethan returned to work in Tasmania, though he missed his Northern Territory crew, he was extremely happy to be at home where he could spend time with his mates. He would return home from work on the bus, have a chat with his mum and Tristan, then get in the car and be gone for most of his week off. You could always count on seeing a Dares or a Kick-Ons post on his Facebook or a Snapchat from him every time he was home. Ethan had a dream and a goal that he was working on. He wanted to buy a property up near his best mate Caden's place. These two fellas were like brothers. Ethan looked up to Caden in so many ways. He admired Caden as a father to the 3 beautiful children he has, even though Brooke still claims Riker is Ethan's because Caden can't make boys. He looked up to Caden as a big brother for guidance in his own life decisions and knew he could count on him for anything. We know that Hayden will continue to work towards your dream home, Ethan. Ethan had the biggest heart and the most beautiful, brightest personality. He took on the family protector role, always checking that his mum was right and if she needed anything. We don't know how we're going to go on not hearing your laugh, seeing that big cheeky smile or being able to hold you, Ethan. But know you will never be forgotten and loved by so many until we meet again for Kicks On. Hayden, you have shown strength and courage beyond your years. Ethan would be so proud of you right now. Ethan will always live on in you. The family would like to thank everyone, far too many to mention personally. Thank you. It was a lovely tribute, Diane. Lovely. I'd now like to invite Ellen Bakes and Zoe O'Halloran and Ethan's Auntie Sylvia to come up.
Thank you. I feel very honoured to have been asked to be able to stand here today and read the words of Ethan's family. So the first one I'm going to read has been written by Philip, Ethan's dad. Being here with you all today to farewell my son, Ethan Philip Chugg, is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Words cannot describe the sorrow and loss that I'm feeling. While growing up, Ethan was a wonderful kid, very cheeky and full of life, with an endless supply of energy. Always the ringleader and instigator, Ethan took things in his stride. As kids, you couldn't take your eyes off Ethan and Hayden for a second. If there were trees around, they would be at the top before you could do anything about it. They loved climbing them and always right to the very top. Once there, they would stay until they chose it was time to come down, talking in their own language to each other, looking down at you laughing, knowing you didn't understand one word. I remember his first day of school like it was yesterday. I was more nervous for the teachers than the boys, as they always had each other's backs. As I watched Ethan grow into a teenager, it was like looking into the mirror, kind-hearted, chilled outlook on life that loved to explore and be adventurous, even following in my footsteps with career choice, drilling, working on the rigs. Ethan shared my love for dirt bikes. A proud moment with his first bike, a Pee-wee 50 at age of 5. Lots of near misses, learning and sweaty brows, but he made it through in one piece. Hayden and Ethan were always not too far away from each other and always knew what the other was up to. Ethan would always have time for his siblings. He would spend time showing Bly how to ride his motorbikes, pull off stunts on the trampoline and just chatting to see how he was doing. When Tash and I first moved out of town, Ethan, Hayden and Bly would ride their bikes around the paddocks. Ethan would be on his most of the day, pissing the neighbours off with no care factor at all. He never lost his love for KTMs, riding and repairing his bikes, from pushing them to their limits and seeing what they were made of. Ethan had a great work ethic and made some lifelong relationships with his colleagues. Working away, your workmates become your second family and an extremely significant part of your life. Ethan's dream since starting work has been to find that perfect rural block of land and house to call his own. I was so proud of the efforts and achievements he was making towards this and was looking forward to having him close by. I will always cherish the moments I got to share with Ethan. He was a son that any man would love to call their son. To have lost Ethan is heartbreaking, and it has come as such a shock to us all. His life was far too brief. Ethan was adored by his family and friends, and it is testament to him how many of you are here today to celebrate his life. Not only was he a loving son and brother, he was always a pleasure to be around. My family wishes to express our heartfelt thanks to all of those who have given their support, compassion and love throughout this very difficult time. Thank you for being part of Ethan's journey. I know in my heart that Ethan would not want us to be grieving for too long, rather remembering the good times we all shared with him. Goodbye, my son. You will live in my heart forever. The next one I'm going to read is a poem that was written by Tash. Infinite being, where did you go? Beyond the world where more energy flows. Your presence here will always cherish, that cheeky laugh will never perish. The feeling of sorrow will slowly decline once the clouds lift and the sun starts to shine. Instead of cry, we will smile for you, the love we share for you, it's true. For many had a hand in your growing and all contributed to your knowing. Your go-getter attitude gave you grit, while life experiences grew your wit. We laugh about the fun times we shared and remember all the cars you repaired, the copious amounts of drunken nights and who knows how many unsightly sights. The funny messages sent to mates, the sound of your voice we still await. Smart-ass remarks and bitchin' at Hayden, none of that will ever be fading. The slippery dips and fun times spent, it's crazy to think where all the years went. Flipping on tramps and riding the bikes, Bly loves you with all of his might. He wishes you to fly high with peace, his thoughts of you will never cease. One thing for sure, we are so very proud, for you, our son, stuck out of the crowd. Love always, Dad, Tash and Bly. The next one has been written by Ethan's Nan and Pop, Leanne and Peter. Ethan, our mischievous, adventurous, fun-loving grandson, you were taken away from us all way too soon. Our hearts are broken and they will never be fully mended without you here. Although we only had 21 short years with you, we feel so lucky to have had the opportunity to spend so much time with you and Hayden when you were little, and especially over the last 3 years as you shared your time living between your mum's house and ours. It was never boring when you were around, and you were always looking for the next adventure and thrill. We remember the time you were both about 5 and we found you on top of the bike shed at the old Bowick Street Primary School, jumping off and swinging off the tree branches. No fear from such a young age. We are so proud of the fun, full life you lived while you were here, and most of that fun would not have been possible without your other half, your best friend, your brother, Hayden. You were always fighting like a couple of old women, but you'd always get over it pretty quickly. There are so many things that we're going to miss, Ethan. All of the greasy spots on the walls and front lawn, the late night bottle runs, seeing you go straight to the fridge when you get home looking for food or beer or both, watching fishing shows and Outback Gold together, statements like, "She'll be right, Nan," and "It is what it is," and so many more. We are so thankful for all of Ethan and Hayden's friends. Thank you for loving Ethan as much as you do, for joining in his adventurous life with him, and we are happy and grateful to know that you will all be here to continue loving and supporting Hayden. We are also so thankful for all of the wonderful step-parents the boys have had, as they have all helped Philip and Deanne care for and shape the boys into the wonderful young men they grew into. We love you, boy, Nan and Pop.
Okay, I'm not real good at talking in front of people because I've never bloody done it. But I am, because Ethan would tell me I'm a fucking pussy if I don't. Excuse my French. I might pause, stumble on my words because I'm fucking shit at it. And there goes my mouth again. Right, here I go. No words I could write could ever say how sad and empty we all feel today. The angels come for you so much sooner than planned. I'll brave the bit of grief that comes, and I'll try my best to understand. Why did you have to go away? Why wasn't it right for you to stay? In my heart you'll always be. I love you dearly and I know you'll watch over me. What we are suffering seems so unfair, but one thing for certain is the love for you will always be there. My nephew, a son, a brother, grandchild, cousin, a friend you'll always be. You're a very important part of my heart's memories. I'll cherish the moment I held you in my arms, and I'm sure that if you stayed longer, you would grace us with your charms. 1,000 words won't bring you back, I know, because I've tried. Neither will 1,000 tears, I know, because I've cried. Now you're up in heaven with the angels up above. They will take our place for now and give you all their love. So go and rest in peace now, Ethan, our young boy so dear. For all the love and memories, I'll hold you forever near. My nephew is one of many blessings in my life. To have the privilege to be able to grow up and live with you and watch you grow into the young men you've become today, and knowing I had a small part of that makes me so fucking proud. Ethan and Hayden was a massive part of my life growing up. My teenagehood day-to-day memories is being with them and their parents at Bowick Street. The excitement, the instant love I had for them boys when they were first born was definitely the first time auntie kind of love. At toddlers, the words I would use from my memories are adventurous, cheeky, funny, and just outright beautiful. The words I have for them today are thoughtful, caring, strong, definitely still adventurous, with the attitude of it is what it is and I'm going to live my life to the fullest. Ethan, you were a great role model for my young children and a really great big cousin that they actually really looked up to. You always went out of your way for them, and anyone of us really. I'm not even reading my words that are written.
Great.
The last few memories my children had spoken about with you was a few weeks ago. You come out to help fix Blake's BMX bike, probably for the third bloody time. You went into Blake's bedroom and you plonked yourself on Blake's bed and you just gave him a big stir up. I can't tell you what about because it's very inappropriate. You walked in that same day and you waltzed on in, and Jada was being a moody little cow, and she was it was a bad day for us, and Ethan walked in and goes, Jada, what the are you doing? Are you been in mum's grog stealing your grog? Like, are you hungover or something, girl? And obviously he used to say that to stir Jada up because he liked to get a bite and it used to drive me insane. That same day, Mason come out of the room sulking over his game, and the first thing he said, what did he say, Mace? He said, oh, you're a bloody girl, stop being a bloody pussy. And he liked to stir my kids to get a bite because he always got one. And these aren't even what I've read. Sorry. I talked to the kids before I'd written this and, writ what I just said. We laughed about it and how much we are going to really miss you popping out and just doing what you do. You definitely succeeded in your life in every way. I was lucky I got to spend the last few blocks to your home with you, having a drink, conversation and betting who can drink who under the table. I still believe I won because I got smashed, got home, his mum might have had to change my underwear, but he got kicked out of the bloody pub and he was sulking over it. But now I'm going to drink him under the table every bloody time, aren't I? I just really had a ball the last few weekends we went out. I enjoyed every moment of my time with my nephews. We got drunk midweek, yes, maybe. Hayden was the quiet one. Ethan encouraged me. He egged me on. He loved to get me drunk and he loved to egg me on. I just was really lucky. I'm not even going to read this. Really lucky to be able to spend the last few weekends because I obviously didn't get to spend much time with them as I grew up, had my own children. But I just had an outright ball. I think his friends that he has and I've met, and I think that you are the best goddamn friends that he could have. He's very lucky. Hayden's very lucky. You're just great. Anyway, I don't even think I'll read the rest of this.
The last couple of weeks have given us all a lot of time to think about family, and the one thing that we have all come to realise is how lucky we are to have such a strong, close-knit family. To my nan, my mum, my uncle, my auntie, and my cousins. Phil is our nephew, our cousin, and particularly to my Uncle Shannon, a brother. Just as it was for everyone sitting here today, the news of Ethan's passing broke our hearts. Knowing Phil was so far away and that we could not be with him to hug and support him broke us, but we are so proud of the strength that he has shown. 21 years ago, Phil and Diane, two very young and probably scared people, welcomed Ethan and Hayden into this world. And I know my nanny Jan was so proud to watch them raise the boys into the wonderful young men that they are. Mum and Auntie Ellie noted that no matter how old the boys were, what they were doing, or who they were with, if they saw you, they always went out of their way to come over, give you a hug and say hello. That there is a testament to their wonderful upbringing. My Uncle Shannon was so proud to welcome his own set of blonde twins this year, just like Phil, and he is counting on you, Hayden, to teach him the mischievous ways of twin boys. Speaking on behalf of Cassidy and myself, growing up as little people, Ethan and Hayden were like naughty older brothers to us, often getting us into things that we weren't certain we weren't allowed to do, but encouraged by them regardless. Then you add Jet into the equation. There were always 5 little rat bags running around at barbecues, Christmas and Easter days, always at the beach and having sleepovers. As young kids, Ethan and Hayden would always have something inappropriate to tell us, but before you could ever say it, we would have our ears blocked. Those bloody twins. Only a few weeks ago, we were out having a drink together, talking about how excited we were for Christmas Day. Last Christmas, your Kris Kringle present was a 6-pack. It went straight to Grant, so did plenty of sneaky smokes when she'd run out of her own. You always had her back. You made me feel safe on nights out, always gave me a hug, and I always knew you had my back too. Cassidy and I are both forever grateful for the years we spent together as children. To you, Hayden, your strength and perseverance through this terribly difficult time has shown what a resilient person you are. Nothing prepares you for losing somebody that you love, and you are strong for your brother. Although Ethan is no longer with us, we know that he will be safe in the arms of Grandpa. Thank you.
Thank you, girls. Beautiful tributes. I have a tribute to read from Ethan's Auntie Melinda, and it goes like this. One time I babysat Ethan and Hayden. Ethan slammed Hayden's fingers in the bathroom door, and I thought their mother would never let me babysit them again, but she did. The first time I cut Ethan's hair at the age of 2, he sat there and screamed, but I managed to get it done with a bit of bribery. Watching him grow into a fine young man was a privilege. His cheeky attitude and personality was the best. I will miss our monthly hair appointments and our long chats. Miss you, Ethan. Fly high. Rest in peace, my beautiful nephew. Love, Auntie Melinda. I'd now like to invite anyone who would like to come forward and share a memory or a story about Ethan with us.
First of all, I'd like to send my condolences to Jan, Tristan, Philip, Tash, Ayla and Blair. Also to David, who played a big part in Ethan's life. Our hearts mourn with you at this tragic time. On behalf of Ethan's employee Tightline Underground, I'd like to say a few words. Ethan and Diamond Drill are following his dad's footsteps. To people that don't know, we drill to find out where the miners have to mine in a nutshell. Some people call us bottom feeders, but we go right. Where do I start? For me personally, I was there for Ethan's very first day underground, starting with HMR drilling at Henty, being his direct driller. From the very first day, he was keen to get into it. Keen to get his hands dirty. He wouldn't keep still, always on the go. So much I'd have to turn around and say, Chugg, slow down a bit. Most people are kicking him up your arse to get him to work, but not the Chugg boys. I can't count how many times I've said to him, and you too, Hayden, slow down, you don't have to go that hard. He was a go-getter, that's for sure. A couple of years later, then we meet again, only this time I was his supervisor at Tightline. Yep, nothing much had changed. He was still go, go, go. He would work around the clock if you let him. Saying that, there's a few times where we thought he was saying, Chugg, what are you still doing here? Haven't you gone home yet? But it would click. Oh shit, there's two of them, isn't there? It really confused the crew, especially the ones that didn't know he was a twin. I remember one day we asked Ethan to give the pumping a hand putting in the pump. Ethan come out, end of the day, we all looked at him and thought, what the fuck have you been doing? I said, have you been swimming in that sump? He goes, no, she's all good. He was covered in it from head to toe, gumboots full of slosh and mud. He didn't care. He said, fuck it, we got it done though, didn't we? Ethan had a big future in drilling, with a lot of knowledge considering being 21 years old. He was easy to get along with, and an all-round good guy who gave his all. He was sadly missed, mate, from all of Tightline. Greg and Dave send their apology as they can't make it from Ballarat. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to share a memory with us? I'm sure there's going to be lots of memories and stories told at refreshments after the service. Diane did ask me if I would tell this little story about the rice cooker and about her little chuglets. Her Auntie Von was teaching her how to drive a manual car when they stopped at one of Von's friends who gave her a rice cooker. The rice cooker was placed on the back seat near the twins, and down the road 5 minutes they were travelling along the highway when they heard a bang and the boys had thrown the rice cooker out the window. Needless to say, the window winders were removed from the back doors. And also in their early years, Ethan and Hayden couldn't sound their V's and would call would call Von Wan, and they'd say, "Hey Wan," they'd say, "Hey Wan," and then put their finger up and say, "You wowzer," yeah. We've been hearing about Ethan's life through stories and memories, so we're now going to see his life with photos, with a photo presentation, and listening to his favourite music.
It's been a wreck me week, 60 plus from dawn to dusk in the red dirt heat. Busting it up for a couple of bucks, but it ain't no thing. Just another day till I'm on my way to them cool, cool sheets. And you and me working on the night shift, baby. Dying for your touch like crazy. Racking up the overtime hours, loving how we're working on the night shift, baby. Gonna rock it right, no need to talk. I know what you want and what you like, 'cause I do too, yeah, I love how you leave on the lights. Not a thing between you and me, and it feels so nice when you and I are working on the night shift, baby. Dying for your touch like crazy. Racking up the overtime hours, loving how we're working on the night shift, baby. Yeah. It's been a wreck me week. Oh, but who needs sleep when you're working on to push my luck. You shoot around a shotgun like it ain't no thing. Turn the radio off so the girl can sing right. Pull them to the party like y'all, what's up? Tonight is bottoms up. Throw it on down, rock this quiet little country town. Get up, drop the tailgate on your truck. Find a keg and fill your cup. Oh, kick it on back. Pretty little mama looking at you like that. Make you wanna slide on in like, girl, what's up? Yeah, tonight is bottoms up. Get 'em up. Tonight is bottoms up. Get 'em up. Damn, girl, I gotta tip my hat. Never thought a country song make you move like that, yeah. And she's doing any Daisy Dukes, girl. She got you tapping on the boy show. Hey, dog, check this out, man. The Southern girls do it in the dirty South, yeah. She'll have you on a knee, can I marry you? Hey, tonight is bottoms up. Throw it on down, rock this quiet little country town to get up. Drop a tailgate on your truck. Find a keg and fill your cup. Oh, kick it on back. Pretty little mama looking at you like that. Make you wanna slide on in like, girl, what's up? Tonight is bottoms up. Get 'em up. Tonight is bottoms up. Get 'em up. Get 'em up. Get 'em up. Get 'em up. Hey, yo, sip it up. Get it up in there one time. Bottoms up. Let's get a toast to the good times. Oh, y'all get your drinks up high. Everybody feeling alright. Damn right. 'Cause tonight is bottoms up. Throw it on down, rock this quiet little country town to get up. Drop a tailgate on your truck. Find a keg and fill your cup. Oh, kick it on back. Pretty little mama looking at you like that. Make you wanna slide on in like, girl, what's up? Tonight is bottoms up. Throw it on down, rock this quiet little country town to get up. Drop a tailgate on your truck. Find a keg and fill your cup. Oh, kick it on back. Pretty little mama looking at you like that. Make you wanna slide on in like, girl, what's up? Yeah, tonight is bottoms up. Get 'em up. Tonight is bottoms up. Get 'em up.
Well, you're driving back home down Route 56. You almost hit a root and you end up in a ditch. You can't pull forward and you can't back out. You're sitting there thinking what you gonna do now.
You'd be a little nervous if a cop showed up, 'cause you drank a little, maybe just a little too much. Waiting on a tow truck takes too long. It's 2 in the morning, who you gonna call?
Mates, damn good mates. Half an hour later they're pulling you out. You know the ones I'm talking about. Mates, damn good mates. You can count them all on one of your hands. Got 100 friends and a couple of damn good mates.
So you're all shooting pool on a Saturday night. This little brunette keeps giving you the eye, so you buy her a drink, and before too long, you're out on the floor in the middle of a song.
Well, about that time a wreck shows up, staring you down, getting all bowed up. He's a big old jacked up SOB. That's alright, he's about to meet your mates. seconds later, he's starting to sink. It ain't one-on-one, it's one-on-three. Mates, damn good mates. They do it for you, 'cause you do it for them. You got 100 friends and a couple of damn good mates. And there even when you don't see him as much, 'cause you moved away or you fell in love. But they're wearing the tux when you're saying your vows. And if you crash and burn, you can crash on the couch. Mates, damn good mates. They love you like a brother, there ain't no doubt. You know the ones I'm talking about. Mates, damn good mates. You can count them all on one of your hands. Got 100 friends and a couple of damn good mates. Oh, damn good mates.
Pictures on her phone, and tears in her eyes. Waterproof makeup ain't made for a breakup. On a Saturday night, then it's hey, how you been? Good, how about you? Funny how seeing you once after a few months gets you like that. Right back to telling folks you know I know all about some new guy taking you out. Then you unfollow me, then follow me back just so I know you're still around. Some girls get their mama on the phone, take a trip back home, pretend they never knew the guy. Some girls drink a bottle of wine, got a note, extra text to get them through the getting by. Sometimes it's a clean break, stay gone, clean slate, moving on to something new. Sometimes some girls make it easy on you, some girls never do. Some hearts stay broke, some hearts don't skip a beat. Some people say goodbye, then try to make it alright just like you're doing to me. But tonight I'm letting it rain. Some girls get their mama on the phone, take a trip back home, pretend they never knew the guy. Some girls drink a bottle of wine, got a note, extra text to get them through the getting by. Sometimes it's a clean break, stay gone, clean slate, moving on to something new. Sometimes some girls make it easy on you, some girls never do. No, some girls never do. Yeah, some girls know when they've got something worth holding on to, but some girls never do. Some girls get their mama on the phone, take a trip back home, pretend they never knew the guy. Some girls drink a bottle of wine, got a note, extra text to get them through the getting by. Sometimes it's a clean break, stay gone, clean slate, moving on to something new. Sometimes some girls make it easy on you, some girls never do. Yeah, some girls never do. Sometimes some girls make it easy on you, some girls never do.
Sure, there's a story behind every photo. The family have asked me on their behalf to thank everyone for their care, support and generosity, for the lovely flowers, the messages, the phone calls, the cooking and everything else. It's so much appreciated. They would also like me to express their heartfelt thanks for your presence here today and would like to invite you to join them at the Wynyard Football Club following our burial service next door. We're now going to take Ethan to his final resting place at the Burney Lawn Cemetery next door, and you're most welcome to join us for that burial service. Please stand if you are able.
Finding yourself stuck out on the ledge, and there ain't no healing from cutting yourself at the jagged edge. I'm telling you that it's never that bad. I'm taking from someone who's been where you're at, laid out on the floor, and you're not sure you can take this anymore. So just give it one more try to lullaby. Turn this up on the radio. If you can hear me now, I'm reaching out to let you know that you're not alone. Yeah, you can't tell, I'm scared as hell, 'cause I can't get you on the telephone. So just close your eyes. Well, honey, here comes a lullaby. Your very own lullaby. Please let me take you out of the darkness and into the light, 'cause I have faith in you, that you're gonna make it through another night. Stop thinking about the easy way out. There's no need to go and blow the candle out, because you're not done. You're far too young, and the best is yet to come. So just give it one more try to a lullaby. Turn this up on the radio. If you can hear me now, I'm reaching out to let you know that you're not alone. Yeah, you can't tell, I'm scared as hell, 'cause I can't get you on the telephone. So just close your eyes. Oh, honey, here comes a lullaby. Your very own lullaby. Well, everybody's hit the bottom, and everybody's been forgotten. When everybody's tired of being alone, yeah, everybody's been abandoned and left a little empty-handed. So if you're out there barely hanging on, just give it one